Hey, what's up YouTube? King James here. With the M16 being one of the most powerful guns in Warzone, I'm always looking for a good secondary to carry with it. And I don't really like to carry the FFAR with the M16 because it runs from the same ammo pool and you can only carry 210 bullets. And I find myself running out of ammo when both guns have the exact same ammo pool. So I've really been on an SMG kick lately and I'm looking for a good long range, fast shooting, hard hitting, high bullet velocity SMG. And I tried the AK47u and it's sort of a cross between an AR and an SMG, but it uses SMG ammo. And it's been really successful for me lately. And I've got a build for you that I'm going to show to you right now. I'd say the closest comparison to the AK47u is the Bullfrog. It's sort of a, mid-range SMG that has, pretty good firepower, good bullet velocity, and good stopping power. And when I compare the two of them together, they're both right around 700 and change or so damage. They both have pretty high head, chest, and extremity damage, although the AK47u does 35 extremity, so arms and legs, which sometimes I find myself shooting when guys are running by. You're hitting the arms and the legs, so you get extra 5 with the AK47u, and it has pretty high bullet velocity, 615 to start. So when I look at the time to kill chart versus the Bullfrog's a tiny bit faster up close, but then the AK47u's range really comes into play. And the first drop off where the damage goes down a little bit, it's past 25 meters, and then it's almost the same damage all the way up to 33 meters, which is a pretty good distance to be shooting an SMG. And then beyond that, they're both pretty close, about a tenth of a second difference right across. But how I built the AK47u was for max mobility and max range, and it has some distinct advantages versus some of the other guns in that department. So let me show you a little footage of using the AK47u. And one thing about this gun is it's really a jack of all trades. It's good close, it's good medium, and it's good from far. I never really had any problem at any range using this thing, and the extra range really comes into its own when I was shooting it and carrying it with a sniper rifle. I noticed that I really didn't miss having an AR when I had the AK47u, and that can't be said for some of the other really close range SMGs like the MP5 or the MAC-10, where they're not quite as good at longer ranges, where the AK47u really seems to have a good range. And see here, this is almost AR range right here. Now you can certainly use some of the SMGs at that range, but the AK47u, it was really strong because it's sort of that hybrid between SMG and an AR. So this guy's running in, and I think he's got tons of stopping power. So I never found myself lacking for the ability to take guys down using the AK47u. It's fast, it works everywhere, and it's like I said, a good jack of all trades. So if you're looking for a good SMG, this might be a real good one for you to run. So as I said, I've been carrying my AK47u with an M16 because I like that it uses a different ammo pool. So it's been a really solid combo. The M16 is really strong, mid and long range, and the AK47u bridges that whole gap right up to about that mid range. So they seem to be a really nice pairing together. Let me show you my AK47u setup. But just before I do that, I want to say thank you to everybody who's recently subbed to the channel. I really appreciate all that love and support, so thank you guys. And if you haven't subbed to the channel, consider subscribing because it really does help small content creators like myself. All right, let me show you my build. So the way I'm building this gun is for maximum range and mobility. I'm not all that worried about bullet velocity because the gun has 615 meters per second bullet velocity to start, which is almost twice as high as some of the normal SMGs. So it doesn't really need any more bullet velocity. What it needs is range and mobility. And that's what my build is focused around. So let me show you how I get that. So with the muzzle, the GRU suppressor, it's the very first item that gives you effective damage range and it gives you bullet velocity. Not that you need it, but if you can get more for free, basically, might as well take it. So we're going to run that. And for the barrel, this is where things are a little interesting. If you look at the barrel here, it says effective damage range, but it doesn't actually show the range down here on the bar. And if you look at the reinforced, it looks like it's giving you a ton of range, but that's not entirely true. So if you have a look at some of the barrel testing that True Game Data has done, look at the reinforced heavy, 10% and 59% bullet velocity. This is the one that a lot of guys run, but I don't think you need all that extra bullet velocity, especially considering how far you're shooting this thing. It doesn't really help all that much. The rifled, on the other hand, has 23%, and it's the highest percentage bullet velocity that you can get. And as a side benefit, 10% reduction in vertical recoil control. So this gun doesn't have a lot of recoil anyway, but that extra reduction, it makes it smooth and a laser beam to shoot. So we're definitely going to run the rifled barrel. Now for a stock, I was running the no stock when I was playing a lot and testing, but I think I really like the skeletal stock because it's got not only sprint to fire time, and this gun has a pretty fast sprint to fire time just to start, but it also aim walking and ADS firing moving speed. And I find myself that the ADS firing moving speed is when I'm shooting and moving, this allows me to be able to strafe and move around a little bit and makes me a harder target to hit when I'm shooting at a guy who's also shooting at me. So we're going to run that skeletal stock. And for the underbarrel, pretty well been running the Spetsnaz grip on everything just because it's got vertical and horizontal recoil control, and it makes whatever gun you're using a lot more stable. And for the ammunition, I typically run the 40 round drum on a lot of my SMGs because I don't want an ADS penalty. Now you can also run for reload speed, you can run the tape mag. So you only have 30 bullets, but it's going to give you about a half-second improvement in the overall reload speed. So you can try that, but for me, I kind of like all that extra ammo, so the 40 rounds is what I've been running. And if you really like to run an optic on your gun, you're not a big iron sight user, try the Microflex LED. It's really solid and has a very clean sight picture, and you can run that instead of the KGB skeletal stock. Now it'll cost you a little bit of movement speed and sprint to fire time, but it'll give you an optic. If you really like to use it and don't like iron sights, then that's probably what I would replace in order to get that. And this is how I've been running my AK47u. It's been really successful for me, and it's a really good all-rounder. If you're looking for a great all-rounder SMG, the AK47u might be the ticket for you. So the AK47u is generally just a great gun all around. Even in Cold War multiplayer, I found myself having a really good time using it. It works close, medium, far, everywhere. It just really is a jack of all trades. You can use it for absolutely everything. And I never found myself wanting for an AR when I was using the AK47u. It's a good pairing with any sniper or tactical or marksman rifle. So if you're carrying something that's really long distance and you don't want to carry an AR because you're either using an AR and want different ammo pool, or you're looking for a good close medium range gun, the AK47u definitely fits the bill for that. I never had any problem with it and getting guys at any kind of raid. So give it a shot. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you got a different build or another way that you're using it, hit me up and let me know. And as always, guys, if you don't see me in Warzone, if you don't see me in multiplayer, it's only a matter of time, baby. King James out.